For 17 years, a monster walked among the people of Wichita, Kansas. He had a name for himself: BTK, bind, torture, kill. 3 words that would terrorize an entire city and launch one of America's longest manhunts. January 1974. The Otero family becomes BTK's first victims. 4 lives snuffed out in their own home. But this killer was different. He didn't just murder. He craved attention, recognition, fame. The letters began arriving at local newspapers. Taunting, boastful, signed with those 3 terrifying letters. BTK didn't just want to kill. He wanted the world to know about his work, his twisted accomplishments. Victim after victim fell to his methodical brutality, each crime scene more disturbing than the last. Police worked frantically, chasing leads that led nowhere, following tips that turned to dust. By 1977, BTK had claimed 6 lives. Wichita lived in absolute terror. Then silence. Years passed without a word, without a kill. Had BTK vanished, or was he simply waiting? 1985. He returned with a vengeance. More victims, more letters. The nightmare continued. By 1991, 10 innocent people had died. Then BTK, for 13 long years, BTK had vanished into the shadows. Police wondered if he was dead. The community began to heal. Then, in March 2004, everything changed. A package arrived at the Wichita Eagle newspaper. Inside was a photocopy of Vicki Wegerle's driver's license. 3 photographs of her lifeless body. The killer was back. Police Captain Randy Stone stared at the evidence in disbelief. 13 years of silence, shattered in an instant. The package contained no fingerprints, no DNA. But it contained something far more valuable: proof BTK was alive. More communications followed. Letters, packages, each one more brazen than the last. BTK was taunting them again. The killer seemed desperate for attention, hungry for recognition. He wanted the world to remember his crimes. Police faced a terrifying question. Would BTK start killing again, or was this psychological game enough to satisfy him? Detective Kelly Otis made a crucial decision. Instead of ignoring BTK, they would engage with him. Through carefully crafted newspaper ads, police began communicating directly with the killer. A dangerous game of cat and mouse. BTK responded eagerly. He sent more packages, more clues, more evidence of his twisted pride in murder. Each communication brought police closer to their target. But BTK didn't. After decades of silence, BTK had one burning question that would seal his fate. In February 2005, the killer made a decision that would change everything. He sent a letter directly to the Wichita Police Department with one simple question: can a floppy disk be traced back to a specific computer? He wanted to know. The audacity was staggering. BTK was asking his hunters for permission to continue hunting. Detective Ken Landwehr and his team faced an impossible choice: tell the truth and lose their best chance to catch him forever, or lie to a serial killer and hope technology could deliver justice. They chose deception. The police responded with a calculated lie. No, they told him. Floppy disks cannot be traced. It's completely safe. BTK believed them. He trusted the very people trying to capture him. On February 16, 2005, a package arrived at KSAS television. Inside was a purple floppy disk. BTK's fatal mistake was complete. The killer had just handed investigators the key to his identity. The floppy disk arrived at the FBI's Computer Forensics Laboratory in Quantico. What happened next would change criminal investigation forever. The team's mission was clear: extract every digital fingerprint from BTK's supposedly anonymous communication. Digital files are never truly deleted. They leave traces. Metadata. Ghost data that criminals never see. The forensic team began their digital excavation, layer by layer, bit by bit, searching for BTK's hidden identity. Then they found it. A deleted Microsoft Word document. BTK thought it was gone forever. But digital forensics revealed what BTK couldn't see: the document's metadata, its hidden digital DNA. Every Microsoft Word document stores information about its creation: the computer used, the registered user, the last person to modify it. The metadata revealed two critical pieces of information that would end BTK's 30-year reign of terror. First, the document's last user was registered under the name Dennis. Second, the document was created on a computer registered to Christ Lutheran Church in Wichita. For the first time in 3 decades, investigators had a name: Dennis. And a location: Christ Lutheran Church. This was revolutionary. The first time digital forensics had provided such precise leads in a serial killer investigation. BTK's fatal mistake wasn't trusting police. It was trusting technology he didn't understand. Building on the digital metadata breakthrough, investigators now had their first real lead in decades. The floppy disk's metadata pointed directly to one location: Christ Lutheran Church in Wichita. Investigators descended on the church, seeking anyone with access to their computers. Church records revealed one name with regular computer access: Dennis Rader, congregation president. For the first time in 30 years, BTK had a face, had a name. But investigators needed absolute proof. They began 24/7 surveillance of Dennis Rader. They watched his every move, his daily routines, his family interactions. The breakthrough came when Rader's daughter visited a medical clinic for a routine pap smear. FBI agents obtained her medical records, knowing familial DNA would provide their smoking gun. The DNA comparison took hours. 30 years of investigation hung in the balance. When the results came back, there was no doubt. Perfect match. Dennis Rader wasn't just a church president and family man. He was BTK, the monster who had terrorized Wichita for decades. After 3 decades of hunting, they finally knew exactly who they were dealing with. February 25, 2005. Dennis Rader was driving to work when police cruisers surrounded his vehicle. The floppy disk had sealed his fate. After 30 years of terror, BTK was finally in handcuffs. What happened next stunned investigators. Rader didn't deny anything. He confessed immediately. For hours, he described each murder in chilling detail. 10 victims, 30 years of secrets. He spoke without emotion, like he was reading a grocery list. Cold, calculated, remorseless. But the most shocking revelation wasn't his crimes. It was who he really was. Dennis Rader was a church council president, a Boy Scout leader, a devoted family man. His neighbors described him as helpful and kind. His family had no idea who they lived with. The perfect neighbor by day, a serial killer by night, the ultimate double life. His confession lasted 11 hours. Every detail matched the evidence perfectly. On August 18, 2005, Dennis Rader was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms. The BTK case changed digital forensics forever. That floppy disk became a landmark in criminal investigation. Today, investigators know that every digital file leaves a trail. Nothing is truly anonymous. One simple question about floppy disk safety brought down a killer who thought he was untouchable. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories where technology caught killers.